Hello travelers, Tara here, and I'm coming with another open reading. My guides are very active. Um, we do have this full moon lunar eclipse coming up on the 31st, but before that, we have the new moon that will be occurring. Now, yesterday I posted an article on Uranus and Taurus, and I wanted to say that I hope that I didn't frighten any of you. Basically, that article was just based upon looking at the history of the last time Uranus was in Taurus. And what you see, anything that, the things, so I mentioned a few things, posted up, a little bit of an article that was explaining the whole mood and atmosphere during that time frame. And so what you're seeing now as we get ready to, as Uranus gets ready to leave Aries and move into Taurus, is you're kind of seeing the same setup. And so that's why I posted the article, so that you guys can kind of, if you haven't really been paying attention, be a bit more aware and just kind of watch. Website members, I have just completed putting all of the links up for your products inside of the members area content. So if you want to book a tarot reading or transit tutorial, you need to just go log into your account, go to the members area content, and you can book through there. Okay. I do have, I mentioned that I was going to post up a special for those who are not members. I was going to do that over the weekend, but I went ahead and did it, I think yesterday, day before yesterday. So if you're interested, you can go over by clicking on the little eye there in the corner. That'll take you directly over to the website. If it's a tarot reading that you want, just go over to Tarot Video Services. Remember, I'm no longer doing services by phone. I'm only doing videos now, and you can find this special there. One other thing I want to say: there's 4 people that I want. Give me 72 hours, and there's 4 people I want to check their mailboxes. That's Shanika, Shawnette, Skinny Bee, and Ulrika. So in 72 hours, I want you guys to go to your inboxes and check. I've got something that I'm sending out to you. Okay. Now, with that being said, we're going to just open up the cards. I am today using the Radiant White deck. Somebody contacted me the other day about a reading. They filled out the form, but they didn't. My form wasn't working, so if you're interested, you'll have to go back and do the process again. So I got the form, but I don't think the payment form was working. Whatever. So we're going to, like I said, just open up these cards. This is a general reading. Male, female, same-sex, heterosexual, whomever's going to take the role of the male, whomever's going to take the role of the female. I don't know if this will be a romance reading or a business reading or a familial reading. We'll just have to see. Okay. In order to gain any insight into your personal situation does require a personal reading. And I would like to say, if you're interested in booking, please make sure that you provide me, read the form, the booking form carefully. Because if you leave out something, I always need the names, the birth dates, and the sun signs. I don't want the moon sign, the rising sign, and don't be telling me none of that astrology, because none of that make no difference to me in a tarot reading. What I need is their name, their birth date, and their sun sign, and that way I can pinpoint them in the collective, and that's how I can give you more specific information. Okay. If nobody's ever had a reading, you can go over their reading testimonials posted up over on the website. It's underneath the video services tab. So let's go ahead and lay these cards. 9 cards down. Knight of Wands, Page of Pentacles, and the 10 of Swords. The Death card, the 10 of Wands, so I have 2 10s together, and the 8 of Cups. I think I'm looking at a relationship reading here. Maybe even a career as well. Seven of Pentacles, the World card, and then the Three of Swords. This could play either way. What I have is the Eight of Wands under the deck. Now that's our Mercury in Sagittarius, and we know that Mercury has long since left Sagittarius. So as I always say, there is no timing within the tarot. It is all universal divine timing. So for some of you, this situation has already played out and you are now trying to move through it. For others of you, you may be going through it right now. And for others of you, this will be playing out perhaps into the eclipse. Okay. And the reason why I say that is that's the only eclipsed moon in the whole deck of the Rider-Waite. That's the card right there. Now, I have two major arcana cards. This is the Death and the World card. This is our Pluto card, and this is our Saturn card. We have Pluto, both Pluto and Saturn are both sitting in the sign of Capricorn. So for some of you, this is about a work issue. Perhaps some of you have just gotten the news that your job, you're going to be laid off. You've lost your job. And now you're trying to figure out what it is you're going to do. I do feel that for many of you, this job, you've been there for quite some time. You've worked very long, very hard. Because of this Capricorn influence in the deck, in the spread, it tells me that perhaps for many of you, this could even be, it's not like a retirement. In one respect, for some of you, it is a retirement. For others of you, it is perhaps that your company has been downsized or your position has been downsized. If this is not you, then I'm looking at somebody who is close to you. And many of you are very saddened by it. I think for some of you, it was in effect kind of an abrupt thing. And maybe even they offered you some kind of severance package. You know, and you're like, okay, well, that's all right, and that's well and dandy, you know, but I still got all of these other obligations that I have to get done. Nevertheless, I think that many of you, even if this is a retirement, I feel, and the reason why I say that, I'm looking at the Knight of Wands, the Eight of Cups, over to the Seven of Pentacles. That kind of reads like maybe some of you just decided suddenly that you're going to retire, that you can no longer stay where you are, or the company's values no longer fit what it is that, like it was when you first started. On the other side of that, for those of you who have suddenly lost your job, it is pretty much the same thing. It is a change in the structure. Pluto is all about power and control. That's where the word plutarchy comes from, right? And it is about the wealthiest people running the what do you call it, the society. Okay, it's a small group of wealthy individuals who are really in charge of everything. And there's a lot of that going on now, just on a worldwide scale. There's an imbalance in power. So this is the recognition that, you know, kind of like you can't fight City Hall, so to speak. So some of you have either been let go because they're trying to increase productivity and bring in more funds on this job, or you have decided that the values of the company no longer resonate with who you are. In terms of a relationship, I feel that some of you, somebody came in quite suddenly. There's that Knight of Wands there. And just as quickly as they came, they left, right? And there may be some kind of maybe they came in and took money from you, you know, something from you. This would be somebody from your past who more than likely showed up perhaps around the last week of the Mercury in Sagittarius. Now, for those of you who've been with me for a long time, you know that I tell you that old lovers and old friends, old situations will come back underneath the Mercury retrograde. I'm dealing with an old situation that has come back. But it is designed to, it's like a test from the universe. It's designed to see what have you learned since the previous Mercury retrograde. You know, and what are you really willing to do? Page of Pentacles, the Ten of Wands, and the Saturn card to shore up this situation. Now, lots of times people assume when I say that Saturn wants you to build a stronger structure that I'm talking about just your finances. No, I'm not talking about just your finances. If you constantly allowed people to come in and tear you down through your self-confidence or tell you that your skills aren't any good, you know, and you've been buying into that, well, that situation has come back around again, and it's asking you, what structure can you put in to build up yourself? And how hard are you willing to work on that? Okay. The World card says you're almost at the end of this particular cycle. Now, what happens when the Death card comes in? Okay. Some of you have tried to prevent this. Here's this 7. You're trying to wait around and see what else is out there for you. Or is this situation going to take a turn for the better, so to speak? I would dare say that the answer is no. And I do feel with this 3 of Swords that it's kind of that energy of where, you know, you pretty much, I think for some of you, you really know that this, you got nothing else to give. Okay. There's nothing else left to give. And so this is about, accepting that loss or that betrayal, however this plays out for you, and looking at it as a necessary sacrifice. That's what the 3 of Swords represents. It's a necessary sacrifice and a loss. And sometimes we have to lose something in order to gain a new appreciation and to work on getting something new. And you can't get something new if you're still hanging on to something old, right? Now, the 2 tens speak to the end of a relationship, okay, or the phase of a relationship. But in terms of work, it speaks to a new career change for the better. 10 of Swords, 10 of Wands, 7 of Pentacles. So in terms of the work situation, if some of you have lost your job, or you've been let go, or you've decided to quit and or retire, this is because you're moving to another level. That's what the 10th house represents. It represents your highest ambition. Normally it's looked at as your work and your career. But say, for instance, you're retiring after 30 years in a job and now you want to go become a missionary. That is now your new ambition, right? That is now your new status. So it rules your social climbing, your social status, your standing in the community. And I dare say for some of you, there is something better coming for you on the way. You know, it may be a struggle for you, okay, but it's coming. For those of you in a romantic relationship, I dare say that this relationship was not the relationship that was meant to be. And you're going to have to let that go. As hard as that may be for you. I think some of you are really struggling with trying to make things better, or working to try to get the individual interested in you again, trying to rekindle that passion, but it's not working. The 3 of Swords. The 3 of Swords is not just a card of loss and betrayal, but it's also that card of people not wanting the same things. And as I always say, you want whatever you want what you want, but it only works if the person that you're with wants it with you. If they no longer want it with you, there's no point in trying to convince them otherwise. Okay. That is the free will choice. Now, the overall energy here is the 8 of Wands. The 8 of Wands is the card of something happening quickly. So for some of you, this relationship it hasn't ended yet. It's going to happen quite suddenly. For those of you who may be looking for another job or looking for another opportunity to come in, the 8 of Wands says that it's coming and it's coming. Some of you may have to travel. You may have to travel by air at a distance, and quite suddenly you may get some news coming in quite suddenly. This 7 of Pentacles is I think a very pivotal card, because what it's telling you is that no matter whether this is a romantic situation and or a work or career situation, it came to an end suddenly, and all of this waiting that you've been doing, or the waiting that you will be doing, trying to put things back right. You are going to get an opportunity. This is about the harvest, okay? This is about all that hard work that you put in, okay? And now trying to determine whether or not that pentacle that's at his feet, which is that pinnacle, okay, is really going to be worth the effort. Now, for others of you, you know, I'm also getting that maybe some of you are waiting for somebody to come from overseas, or maybe to immigrate, or you're waiting, but that person doesn't come. For some reason, they don't come. There's like a delay, and that's kind of what I'm picking up, is it's a delay. And then suddenly the situation changes. I can't tell you how it changes. It just changes. Okay? So what I'm going to do is the Death card here is here to tell you that, you know, you can, the change has already come, but you're still trying to, I don't know, hang on to it, or work it out, or, and some of you are coming to the realization. Now look, remember I was talking to you about that eclipse? Eclipses are designed to eclipse negative people and situations out of your life. Now you can try to hang on to that, but as you can see, it's like the cutting winds of fall. It doesn't work. I also feel that for some of you, this is going to be somewhat of a revelation, a betrayal of some sort from someone. And the reason why I say this is because eclipses hide things. So this could even go all the way back to the eclipse of August 21st. Okay? It went across, it maybe touching upon the same points. I don't know. For membership, for members, that eclipse dates post is there on the site. Go in and look it up. And eclipses hide things. So that's why you're told, you know, try not to make any decisions 3 days before or 3 days after, because you really don't have all of the information. But I do feel sometimes this Eight of Wands is messages and news coming in that for some of you, you're going to find really that you have been betrayed by either the company that you work for or someone very close to you. Okay? But the thing, you see this, it's the 7. Sometimes it's not what's here, it's what's not here. And from this, I go from a 10 of Swords to a 3. That leaves us a difference of 7. Okay? The 7 of Swords. So for many of you, this is going to be the idea or the concept that you're going to find out you've been betrayed in some way, shape, or form. Okay? Someone's been hiding something from you. For some of you, this really is about your work, your career, your position. For others of you, this is about a romance, one that came quite suddenly, but it may even be that that person has taken something from you that you're not even aware of just yet, that hasn't been revealed to you yet. So what I'm going to do is look at this 10 of Swords. The Leggerezza. The Leggerezza is the card of sensitivity, diplomacy, tact, and lightness. It's also sometimes the card about sex. Then I have Superbia. Superbia is the peacock. This typically represents the male of the species, because the male birds are always more colorful and more exotic than the female birds. This is the mating thing. But this card also represents arrogance and vanity and pride. Here we have the Sacerdote, a single man, but also someone that you thought you might be able to confide in or trust, because why? He's representing himself as a priest. Okay? So in one respect, what I'm getting is two things. That indeed, this is going to be a betrayal. It's going to be a betrayal from someone that you trust. They may have had a position of trust, a counselor, so to speak, someone with a prominent position, but also someone who has been presenting themselves as they are not. You have found that underneath, this could be somebody who's been very, very good looking, and knows that they're good looking, right? But has always been hiding their true face. That's really what I'm getting from that card. For some of you, if this hasn't occurred, I think the message is telling you that it's not too late to shore up your defenses. And only you know what you've allowed somebody to step over that boundary. Only you know that. I can't tell you what I mean by that. You know, if you allowed somebody to overstep their boundaries, you have time to rectify that situation. It's going to take hard work, because that's what Saturn is all about. He's about doing the heavy lifting and taking the responsibility for it and rebuilding that structure and putting in those safeguards. Now, that's going to mean that that person who's been taking advantage of you in whatever way, shape, or form is not going to like that. Therefore, they're going to leave. But I say good riddance to bad rubbish. That's what I always say. And for some of you, this is a time frame where you're just going to have to wait for that to occur. The Donna Maritata, the woman with children. But this card also speaks about respect for a married woman. Okay? Well, that respect has come to an end. This is a change in somebody's either marital status, okay, or a change in their position. In other words, this could be somebody who cares for or nurtures or has some responsibility. There's a letter coming in, the news that this is about to end, and there you are trying to figure out, how am I going to move ahead from this? I can't believe I put in these 8 years at this company, right? Or this is the 8th time I've had to go through this. It's the number 8. Now, I don't have 2 8s in the spread per se, because this is our overall energy here. But 2 8s in a reading say that you will receive news that's going to affect the relationship. And it speaks to a time of obstacles and hassles and delays. And what does Saturn do? Saturn limits. He restricts. He constrains. But what he's asking you to do is, while I'm giving, instead of looking at this like a delay or an obstacle or a hassle, he's asking you, what is it that can you be doing now while this delay or this hassle is going on, this obstacle? What can you do now to short up? Because in a sense, you are protected. And so it comes down to, what are you willing to let go of? We're going to look at this card. Now, I want you to formulate, I'm going to pull both an angel answer, and I'm going to pull one romance angel card. So get ready to formulate your questions this way. We can perhaps answer questions on the business, career side, financial side, and or we can answer questions on with the relationship side. For some of you, this is going to be one and the same. Okay? This could also be, you know, somebody that you love having lost their job. Okay? And it could also be some of you pulling the wool over folks' eyes and somebody walking away from you. So, you know, every situation is different and everybody's story is personal. The disgrazia. The doctore. Yes. The Tower card. The extreme misfortune. But then we have the doctore, which is quite interesting. So now this could be a lawyer or a mediator or somebody who can help you. Look, there's the precious presence, a gift that is not unselfish. So I'm not exactly sure if this is talking about in the financial sense. Maybe there's somebody who's in a position to give you the information that you need to shore this situation up. And also that there may be somebody around you who might have some advice to give you. Here's the Three of Swords. They're going to tell you, I told you so. So just be ready for that, okay? That's what they're going to try to tell you. But this could also be the third message, and this didn't come through until just now. This could also be the idea or the concept that you put your faith in somebody you thought was going to help, and what you ended up getting out of it wasn't what you thought it was. Okay? Remember, like I was saying to you at the beginning, it's like, you know, you just know that there's nothing else left to be said or done. That kind of thing. Now, I'm going to pull an angel answer card first. So formulate your question for the angel answer. One angel answer card. Now, and one romance. Oh, it presented itself. Angel answer. It says helpful people. Now, I just gave you 3 interpretations for that last thing. And again, this is, you know, everybody's situation is personal. So don't get pissy because you can't find out exactly what you need to know from a general reading. It just doesn't work like that. All right, helpful people. This card indicates that it's time to expand your circle of friends, or you may find yourself needing to do some professional networking. Make time to branch out in order to create the personal or career connections necessary to be happy and successful. This card can also indicate that your situation requires the input of those who can assist you in accomplishing the task before you. This may include professionals in fields related to your question or others who work for or around you. It could also include people in your personal life who have experience that would be useful. This card lets you know that someone will be entering your life soon who can help make your dreams come true. There's that Doctor. Romance angel. Past life relationship. You have known each other before. Now, I have a lot of people contacting me. Oh, I think he's my twin flame and I think he's my soulmate. And that may be so, but people automatically assume that that means you're supposed to be together for the rest of your life. And that is not how it works. We have many soulmates in our lives, and sometimes we have many different twin flames. There's that theory that twin flames are actually one soul split into 2. Anything is possible in the realm of the 7th dimension. And so the people are designed to teach you things about yourself. And it never really is about them. It is about you. So if you've been in a back and forth relationship with somebody and they've been putting you through the ringer, well, guess what? Your choice is to stay in that energy, right? If the person is not ready, there's nothing you can say and there's nothing you can do. So either you can free yourself by changing the way you think about the situation and shoring up your own personal confidence and knowing that there is somebody out there who wants what you want and wants it with you, and then try to move towards that, right? Or you can stay where you are. Personal choice. Everybody has free will. You know, I don't understand why the person keeps doing this. Well, I always look at it like this. If the person's making you feel crappy, if you feel nervous or crappy when you're around that person, that's your gut telling you that that's not the person you're supposed to be with. How do I know? I done been through the same situation. I'm not just talking out of the side of my neck. Okay, past life relationship. The romance angel sent you this card to explain the relationship you've inquired about. You have some unfinished business in conjunction with a soulmate from a past lifetime. This may involve forgiving someone, a joint project, or learning personal lessons such as patience. Soulmates recognize each other instantly, and this feeling is often registered as a sense of romantic or sexual chemistry. The magnetism that draws two people together can surpass logic because the purpose of the relationship is healing and learning. Whether or not your soulmate becomes your life partner, you'll experience personal and spiritual lessons and growth as a result. Past life regressions can also help you uncover the answers that you seek. I don't do past life regressions right now, but I can definitely take a look at that through the, what do you call it? Etheric cord cutting and also Akashic records. I do have some past life regression, but that's, best done in person. So anyway, that's what I have for you. I hope those messages helped you. And don't forget, you can always get over here to the website. You can join 3 membership levels, or you can just book website members. Your stuff is located in the, what do you call it? The members area content. And so until next time, namaste. Thanks for allowing me to read for you. Bye.